Hello, British Columbia. Shout out to Bounce Radio, Penticton, and Summerland, and all other 18 cities across the province on the BC Food and Wine Radio Network. Really excited to have our next guest, Marc André Hugel, the soon-to-be technical director in charge of winemaking at Famille Hugel. Marc, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Hello, Vancouver.
Yeah, well, it's a great pleasure to talk to you. I thought we'd start out with maybe just a little quick setup about Alsace and Hugel and where you're at.
Well, it's easy. We are at the heart of the universe. Let me make it. We are right between France and Germany, which is the heart of Europe, which is heart of the world, and I guess the heart of the universe. So Riesling is middle of it's a small town, medieval town, 1,000 inhabitants, 2 million tourists. So that explains why it's so beautiful. The whole world comes to us, but we export a lot, and we've been present on your market and in your country for decades now, and super happy to be on the show with you today.
Yeah, we've been through a few generations of Hugel. You look like the latest one. Are you the 12th now generation?
13.
13. Wow.
Yeah. The fourth just got to sleep. My daughter is 7 months old now.
Number 14. Yeah. What is that like? Like when you were a little kid, like you were part of a long story. Not many people work in a business that's been around for 13 or 14 generations. So what's the secret?
Well, actually, I'm kind of the stranger Hugel of the Hugel family, because I'm the only one actually in 13 generation that grew up somewhere else and then came back to Riesling.
Oh,
so
wow.
I grew up 20 years in Champagne. I was born in Épernay. I grew up in the middle of Épernay, being surrounded with Moët & Chandon and all those prestigious champagne house. And I've made my studies in Champagne, and it was like, okay, I have a whole family waiting for me after all that studies in wine. And I came back when I turned 25, and I've been here for 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great story. Our guest is Marc André Hugel. So I guess my first question is, learning about wine and champagne, what have you brought back to Alsace, perhaps, that the company will benefit from?
Well, obviously my passion for bubbles. I really for almost 8 years been struggling against my whole family to start doing our crémant, our sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Because we never wanted to join that club, because we always knew that champagne would be better, but because I'm on my passport it says Épernay, so
yeah,
I have the right to make it now, and Alsace make some good sparkling. So I'm excited to start with this new cuvée soon. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's great news. That'll be really interesting. Okay, well, let's talk about what we have in the market. We have some very famous labels or wines. Maybe the one that's the most misunderstood or not known by consumers when they walk by it on the shelf is Gentil. What is the story of Gentil?
Well, to make it easy for everyone, it's a blend of all the region in the same bottle. So means all the terroir, all the kind of soil, and then you have all the kind of varieties, the white wine varieties we're growing. So 8 varieties blended all together, and to be called Gentil has to be noble, which means you have to use a majority of Gewürz, Traminer, Riesling, Pinot Gris, and Muscat. And the rest can be Sylvaner and Pinot Blanc or other varieties. But yeah, we blend all those 8 together, and that's make a dry, fruity, and very food friendly. And yeah, the Alsace wine by definition, like you have it all in the same glass.
Very aromatic wine.
Yeah.
Would you classify it as the Eldest Vicar too? Could it be that, or is it different?
Well, Edelsviker, sorry, was more about a big mix of everything.
Okay.
The cahier des charges, the law about how we make the Gentil was brought back from almost a century without anyone producing it, and we started it back in the mid 90s, and now it's being quite a success because we make quite a few bottles of Gentil, and this is affordable, and we expect everyone in about 110 countries to enjoy that wine in any occasion, for just aperitif, or it's even very food friendly because you have Gewürz for spicy food, you have Pinot Gris for white meat, you have Riesling for fish and seafood. So yeah, you have everything in the
you got it all in one bottle. Yeah. Okay, let's touch on the Riesling, because Riesling's become a variety that's well known in British Columbia because we're doing some great stuff with it. Of course, there's German Riesling. So what is Alsace Riesling, and how does it fit into the whole box of Rieslings?
Well, it's quite easy. In few words, would be it's the best Riesling in the world because it's the only French Riesling in the world. So that's it.
Okay, I like that. Well, maybe just quickly about the style. What's your style?
I would say we are very lucky in Riga to have probably the most complex soil probably in the whole continent. We have 8 different kinds of soil on the same area, which is 220 hectares. So that's quite few per surface, but we have every combination possible. We have, as I said, 8 different kind of varieties. We have 8 different kind of soil. So, and if you combine with the time of period you harvest it, that means you can do dry style, sweet style, or noble rot selection, for instance, which are the super liquorous wine we produce. That's I don't know. Probably Alsace is the magical place because we brought Chardonnay, Pinots, and Riesling, and Chasselas, and Auxerrois, and I mean, we are, as I said, the heart of Europe, and we brought everything that is good around us, and we have a perfect area to grow everything. So it's good.
We're talking with Marc André Hugel, soon to become technical director at the Hugel Winery. He'll be in charge of all production in the coming new year. Marc, we hear a lot about Pinot Noir in France from Burgundy, but what about your Pinot Noir? We're discovering that it's quite a different animal.
Yeah, well, it's I would say quite recent in Alsace history. We've been growing wine for 2,000 years almost, since the Romans. But Pinot Noir is quite recent, from the 60s, 70s. So just like I was struggling to do my sparkling, my uncle was struggling himself with his uncle to do his Pinot Noir. And we've been learning for 40 years now how to grow good Pinot Noir. And we are still very affordable because we are a nice region with everyone and everybody from the whole planet. And I would say that Alsace Pinot Noir, our classic, the one you have most chances to find in your country, has no oak, so it's a pure varietal Pinot Noir, so quite light in style. You can do pretty good matches with good meat, but don't expect to have a huge tannin. But it's light, it's in style, and it could be a good option if you are running out of Burgundy and if you're looking for good northeast French Pinot Noir.
And should we drink it right away, or will it cellar, or what's your opinion on that?
Well, I would say on the classic would be we do the aging in our cellar for at least 2 or 3 years, and then you can find it. So that means you can drink it straight away. I would be quite frustrated if I couldn't drink the bottle I'm buying in the store. But then you can buy a case of 6 and drink one now and keep going for the next 5 years.
Right. Hey, listen, Marc, that's fantastic. You did it all in the allotted time and gave us a lot of info, and we'll be excited to see. Will we see you sometime in North America then?
Well, I'm now quite fully booked. I'm a young dad, and I'm soon gonna be as I say, technical director. But I'm traveling sometimes. I came to Montreal right before the COVID, like December 19 or something. And why not?
I've got a good idea. Maybe
come back to the North American continent. So it's
or maybe we'll just come and see you. That would be better. People could visit Alsace and come to Hugel.
Definitely. You know, we are quite welcoming area, and you can knock on every doors, and most of the time people would at least get you a bottle of wine or
right.
coffee if it's earlier than 9 in the morning. But,
Thanks so much, Marc. It was fantastic.
My pleasure.
Great to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I know it's late at night, but we'll have a great holiday season. We'll talk to you next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Canada. Cheers.
Cheers. That was Marc André Hugel, soon-to-be technical director in charge of production at the Hugel Winery in Alsace. Still to come, Jeffrey Moss, MW, founder of Lithica Wine Marketing and Gismondi on Wine Taster. He'll join us on the show, which is available weekly on 20 radio stations across British Columbia or on demand on all the major podcast platforms, including Google and SoundCloud. This is BC Food and Wine Radio, and I'm Anthony Gismondi.